Ah, yes. BH, what's up? Yeah, so I got a phone call and he said he wants me to straighten the nose. So I'm gonna do it. It's not that hard. He never asked me to, but he gets these, it's like a hang up. I told him, I said, that his nose is what makes him, it's one of the features that you should be proud of. It's not a bad thing. He says, I know, but he had his reasonings, and so it's okay. Fix it up for him. It's not hard to do. Not hard at all. Plus, what's up? QFX, what's up, man? How are you? Yeah? All set? Yeah. I mean, this shouldn't take me too long to do at all. It's just like essentially an edge, and then obviously also this side too. So it's this side and this side, both sides, but it should be okay. Well, it shouldn't take me too long. And then I'll get to the Charlene Richard painting. It's best to just get it done. If I had varnished it, I would not apply paint over, because then when, like, down the road, if it was a painting worth restoring, when they took the varnish off, it would take the paint off. So you don't want to do that. To be honest with you, I'm not sure what I would do. I'd probably have to take the varnish off first and repaint that area. It would be a hassle. I essentially wouldn't do it. Do y'all see how red the nose looks, right? That's how sunken in this is. I couldn't see the values when I was working on it. It was very difficult. Mario, ciao, come stai? Yes, we got the Italian here. Buon lavoro. That's one of the most interesting features of. I know, man. I agree. Sono in accordo con te. Purtroppo ho bisogno di cambiarlo. Cliente lo vuole. Yeah. Moody's back just briefly. Let's try to get this done fast. I'm going to go in with smaller brushes with this to start. It is. And I told him, I said, look, I knew it wouldn't go anywhere, because I've been working with him long enough to understand how he ticks. It's like he gets something in his brain and can't get it out. And it just bothers him, and you think it's and which is understandable. Buon appetit. Buon appetito, amico mio. He's eating dinner right now. Mario is. Isn't Zerx pissed how meme tier our druid is now? It's a real problem that we're having, yeah. But I think I'm blaming myself for a lot. Like, I'm getting doubled and tripled in damage. It's ridiculous. You can maybe try to retouch varnish when you're done. But it's like, what happens when you varnish everything? Like, you don't want to just take one piece of the varnish off, because then when you varnish it, you're going to see, So this is, I mean, I've had to do this before, and I hate it when I have to do this. I hate it. I hate making these changes, but um, personally, I don't like this portrait, and so I don't really care. So yeah, I don't like a lot of the work that I do. I just don't. I'm not. I really dislike a lot of the stuff that I do. It's a real shame, guys, but this is what you got to do, you know? Um, it's just that our druid is really terrible right now. That forces you to play more passively, and then buffing it by 5% tomorrow is a joke. Yeah, it is. I agree with what you said there. Vinruki thinks they don't want to make changes because of World First, and I hate World First. I absolutely hate it. Poor Moody, I know, Shikari. Sargent had to raise the dress sleeve on Madam X. He had to repaint the whole canvas overnight and kept the original. I don't know if I knew that. Okay, resto ceneremo insieme, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Un giorno, amico mio. But yeah, it's you know, you got to do what you got to do, guys. It's horrible. This is how it is, though. You got to do it. You know, it's like because we're taking away what makes this unique. And I told him, I said, you're gonna have me take something away from the portrait. That is a good thing. It's making it unique, right? And he's like, I know, but he says, I just want it gone. I said, okay, fine. So here's the thing, and this is why I don't post a lot of my work, because I have to do this type of stuff, and it just makes it generic. It takes away what's good about the painting every time. And this has happened a lot. It really has. And, you know, I didn't fight this. I'm not going to fight it. You know, what am I going to say? No. I mean, he's the one who has to look at it. So leave it about there, and then I have to go back on the other side. Oh, goodness. Yeah, QFX, it's rough right now. I mean, but I still think it's me. I don't think it's him. I mean, I'm extremely discouraged in that area right now, like very discouraged. How do you deal with extreme insecurity about your skills? It kills me sometimes. Insecurity comes from like not being prepared. The way that I look at it is that you need to change your mindset. Maybe. Everybody's different. So for me, if I'm insecure about something, that means I haven't put the practice or the time in. If you practice and work it out, you're going to have the confidence when you get to it, right? So it takes practice. But in a work like this, so I know how to paint portraits because I've practiced. So I have confidence when I have to do it for somebody else. But I'm also at the point where if I make a mistake, I take that as a learning experience, and I oftentimes will find a way past that, because I have gone through that point where you despair about the work and you say you suck, you suck, you suck, you can't do it, right? In paint. And gosh, that looks so much worse, but I have to leave it. So it's practice, and it's build, like you have to work on that. You have to say, if I mess up, that's okay. There is a solution to it. I just need to figure it out. So instead of feeling emotionally like horrible about, say, I messed this up, break down and say, okay, what is it I feel bad about? Is it the light? Is it the shapes? Is it just doesn't look real? Why doesn't it look real? Is it the form? Is it because the color's off? If it is, it always boils down to something technical. So then you focus on that. And then you look and you say, I just learned something. And so it's a success. So it's a mindset. So you turn it into something technical. That's how I deal with it. That's how I deal with it. Now, for you, it could be different, right? Did you play Hearthstone? Like a couple games. I don't like that type of stuff, though. The whole Madam X mess was crazy. I can't believe people thought that dress was scandalous. Yeah. But, I mean, so think of what we have, though, today. Like, we have, like, if you want, you can go and look at pornography, like right now. On the device you're probably looking at, like you could just type something in 5 seconds. So we're coming from that world right now where like you can see absolutely everything, anything you want. They didn't have anything like that. And so, they're going to have a different outlook on the body and then public perception and stuff. But I agree with you. It is to think it's like two different worlds, isn't it? I think reputation was involved with Madam X also. Yeah, there was. Yeah, I'll tell you what I know about that in a second, especially with oil paint. You can't really make changes right away, but you can. You can. You just need to learn how to mess with it. You really do. You can, there's a lot you can do. Oil paint is very malleable. It really is. And I can show you that. That's why I'm saying it's learning the technical aspects of it. And here's another thing. When you paint, you gain the confidence when you have successes. So the longer you paint, the more successes you're going to have. You're going to have a lot of failures too, but you're going to learn that those failures are good because that's how you learn. You learn from failures. So you stop looking at failures as failures. But see, when I learned that I could fix what I've done, that was a huge undertaking for me. This is pretty much it right here, guys. As horrible as this is, which it is, this is horrible. This is what he wants. That's it. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to go to the other painting. All right? I have done so many paintings that y'all haven't seen, and that's how you learn. I remember when I was doing figure painting, and like every painting, you just come from drawing, or drawing, you just started getting drawing, you started getting decent at drawing, and then you get to figure painting and you just suck, and you keep on doing things. You're like, I can see it needs to change, but I can't do it. I don't know how to do it, blah, blah, blah. Now, if I went and got a commission at that stage before I knew how to fix things, I wouldn't have the confidence, right? That's why you have to learn the language of painting. Like, this method of painting is supposed to give you the confidence. You have to have a solid foundation. Once you have a solid foundation, then you're going to have the confidence to continue to grow doing this stuff like I'm doing. I'm continuously growing in this type of work because I have enough guardrails up. I have enough experience at this point and I have a lot to learn. but I have enough experience where I should not be going astray as much as somebody who is a beginner, right? So that's it. You have to get good at this stuff, and you have to have a solid foundation. You're going to have more confidence that way. So, reputation. So the Madam X, from my understanding, it was like that was over in France, and it got a lot of criticism. They said it looked like a corpse. He said that's how it looked. It was like his artistic project versus what society thought at the time of it, right? But he was captivated by this woman, and he spent over 100 sittings with her. Over 100. And he had a lot of other sketches of her too. He's probably very infatuated with her, and y'all probably know more about that than I do. But I like the portrait. I like it. I like the story behind it, and it's one of the most famous of his portraits today. But it was a total failure back then, and it hurt his reputation. Right? So it's crazy how that worked. But again, it's like times change, and paintings are kind of somewhat eternal, I guess, right? They outlast people at least, and so people's perspectives will change over time with it. It's true you learn more failures, I think. Too bad I never... There you go. You must have a lot of confidence then. Let me readjust this camera here. Lord Tagging, what's up, man? I just had to destroy a painting. You can rewind and see what I did. Destroy it meaning the nose was like, it wasn't, you know what? I didn't even like how I painted it, but I liked it more then. Like, I had to straighten the nose out for... What's up, Lottie? Yeah, man. Tagging's busy. He has a lot of work he has to do right now at university, but I'm glad you stopped in, man. You doing all right? Didn't see my masterpiece of cat in the art section. I haven't looked in the last 2 days. Last week has been rough for me, guys. I'm sorry. It was just a draining week last week. It's like a soul-sucking week. Where's your boss? I'm right here. Didn't see my masterpiece of cat. I'm the most confident person I know. I don't doubt everything I do at all. You give it to your mom yet? Yeah, same shit, different day. Yeah, I hear you. But I'm liking your work, man. It's looking really good. Let me change this camera up some. Let's see what we can do with this. Something like that. Here. Let's see. No, I'll lose this camera just for a second. Let's be quicker this way. Probably about there. This one's a little rough because the image is just throwing me off. So I kind of feel like I have to shift the light in it. This is one of those things where guys, every single painting that I've done recently, it's just I've had to make these mental shifts with it. Like I have to morph things. I have to, they're not good images to go off of. And that does make a difference. I'm saying that in hopes that you guys try to avoid it if you can. I can't with some of this stuff, and that's just how it is with work that brings in the bacon. She deserves bigger. I'm preparing some documents for the U.S. Embassy. Good. You're going to Delaware, right? Delaware, I think you said. QFX. I'll see you, buddy. The 100th time you're not the boss. Sorry. Who is the boss? I don't know who you're talking about. Within these weeks, the agency is going to reserve the plane ticket. Good. He's coming here for the summer, Delaware. I'm in North Carolina, but he's going to... So, I think about 6 or 7 hours north. I've never been. Delaware, yeah. The shareholder. Look at you with these big words. All right. Look at you with these big words. Crockett, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Tagging, I'll see you, buddy. You be good. Shurimiya, what's up? There she is. You doing all right? I'm the landlord. No, no, no. You're like the landlord. Hmm. Hmm. Making some corrections. Yep, reported a bug to Rebel this morning, trying to set it back up on Windows. Oh, you did up. You know what? I don't know why I thought this. I thought you were joking about Windows 11. Why did you upgrade? Fixing proportions, guys. I'm not detailing or anything. I'm just trying to. What I noticed at first, this distance was too large, and that I did have to raise up some, oddly enough. So I'm looking at these large shapes, like this comes up just a little bit, which it does. It really does. This comes up just a little bit as well. So, using the small brush for this. Uh, whoops. What's up? So I'm not really worried about the color right now. I'm more thinking about values in the drawing. Color is secondary to me at this point. I'll get that later. After this year, they will start changing the Windows 10. Windows 11 is free upgrade. I just wanted a clean state. Got a new solid state for it, and it's nice. Good. I mean, I think the good thing that, like, you waiting, they got rid of a lot of bugs that were there before, which is good, right? So I guess since you did it, I might upgrade my computer. Have it screw up again. It'll be nice. Windows XP. I barely even remember Windows XP. Wait, I'm older than you are. How do you remember Windows XP? It's tricky here. Let's do some oiling out. Wait a second. Can't really oil that out. This, maybe a little. This is still kind of wet. So I'm going to thin the shadows out just a little bit, scrubbing the oil into them. Unify these shapes, right? So we don't need to detail it yet. That way it's kind of easier to move around. Just move the big shapes. Detail once those big shapes are in the right place. Woo! Now our old circus lineup is almost here. 1 second. Maybe my family kept the old computer around for too long. I don't know. Gotcha. Yeah, most people kept XP for a very long time because it was the best. It's the best that Vista was odd for most people and highly unstable and vulnerable. Wow. Yeah. Back when your computer could easily outlive you. Okay. This. Let me see if I have this up. Charlene Richard. Does this? There it is. So this is what we're going off of right there. It's tricky because it doesn't. I'm gonna have to be creative with the light effects with this, I guess. It's starting to look more real if I. What's this? Okay. Thinning this out some, the oil. The best. Hope this client won't complain, nose too straight. No, this one won't. This is a different one. Sweet, I can mod in here. Yes, you can. You've earned it. Glazing, yeah. What, this glazing? I'm more of oiling this out. I don't know if I'm glazing this. Ah, another person online. What's up? It's darken. I'm just oiling it out. And I'm kind of taking some paint off too in certain areas. Okay, that's looking a little bit, that's making more sense to me. So this is sinking in quite a bit is what was happening. Why are you mod again? But for cheer. Yeah, I thought that was you actually. Even the extra oil is just helping it. It does look like it's picked up a little warmth somehow. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's starting to make more sense now. This is weird. Out, I don't need these brushes. Hey with you. Ti saluto mio amico, un grande abbraccio. All right, ci si vede. He's out. He's hugging all of us. A very large and great hug. Mario, I'll see you, buddy. Where's my boss? She's not gonna like this. She might be in, because I didn't call Jeff a Mexican for like 3 months. Where did the butt go? Another person online? No, it's the same person, same sense of humor, different handle. Different handle. This isn't good. Huh? 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 All right. It's a better name. Not much better, though. It's still confusing. His back, his butt for sure. Right. Shudder me a chaotic. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. M, what's up? What's up, M? What can mods even do in this chat? Ban trolls? There would be nobody left. You are correct. It's not like Twitch. You can mod in cool ways. I can report or ban people, it says. Yeah. I mean, I think I gave you there was standard, then there was this one. So I think it's the better one. Or hide or timeout, yeah. Twitch is more fun. Twitch is for streaming, right? YouTube's catching up, I think. I don't know why it takes them so long. But it does, but it does. But it does. It takes a while, doesn't it? So that second last person you want as a mod is Shuddery. I'm telling you this. Remember my. She's always messing with people. But for sure, I went to this bowling alley to look around. They were happy to hear I'm doing a painting involving a bowling alley. I told them I might do now for them to think they like the idea. Bowling alley, cool. Oh, by the way, as another person on the internet, I am, or whatever his name is, I am Lati on Twitch for, yeah. It's Lati. But I don't think he was around I don't think he was with us on Twitch. I don't believe so. But like right when I came to YouTube, I think is when But for Share found us. Say your record isn't that good. Come on now. She's always trying to cause trouble. Exercise whatever power she has. Abuse it, really, which is why, I gave her the power. It's fun to watch what she does with it. Is it responsible of me? No. No, not at all. It's not responsible. So this is one of those things where I'm modeling the face, but I think what's holding it back, oddly enough, is the eyes and parts of the nose. It's kind of like sometimes when a painting doesn't look real, it's perhaps the background or something else that's holding everything else back, but you keep on painting on the what you're, like whatever focal point you want to focus on, right? Could be a figure, could be like, the main part of the body or whatever. There's a lot of things, not to say that's perfect, not at all, but this, I think, in here is very blocked in and sketchy looking, and it's not quite working. So I might actually go in and work it up just a little bit and see if that makes a difference to catch everything else up. In doing so, I'm also going to try to fix the drawing issues within that area, like I started with doing, because I started but I didn't finish. So I think that's probably a good plane of attack. Fight with Juha, it was really funny. Ah, you're an admirer of her work. Yeah, I did that. It was Fragmented Values. Yeah, that was on Thanksgiving. I remember that very clearly. I'm rethinking my choices here, but I swear I remember I didn't like being a mod. I just don't remember why. Well, there's really no responsibility bestowed upon you. This subtle smile is difficult to draw. For most people, but for me it's extremely easy, obviously. All right, let's get this going. It can be, yeah, it can be tricky. Shikari, it can be tricky. This type of stuff. All right, so for the eyes, what I normally do, I take flesh tone color, try to get the value, how light or dark it is, and then I'll add a little bit of blue, sometimes some green to take the red out, because this is a very fleshy color. All right, so this is how I go for the values in the eyes. Kind of work this up just a little bit. Though I'm using a small brush, I'm really not trying, like I don't want to over detail or to get sucked in like that. You want to be looking at the large shapes. Right, so you can see me squinting. Step back, look at it from a distance. Try to see the whole thing all at once. There. And then we get a darker value. Space. Buffer share. I got in trouble for calling him a Mexican, and then Lewis keeps calling him one now. Master fears nothing. The whole thing was funny. Mexican. It's fun. It's fun calling. Jeff is from Peru, and oddly enough, one of my models is also from Peru, and I do the same thing to her. She's Peruvian, rather. Really, really good woman. She's funny. She puts up with our crap somehow. For some reason, she puts up with our crap and keeps on modeling for us. So I think you can, look, I mean, y'all know this. I if somebody thinks you're on their side or knows you're on knows because I'm on y'all's side, right? They're not going to be like constricted. So you're going to be able to say more things. But it's my dad was a little bit the same way, and you're going to get people who are get angry at you no matter what. Like, I mean, I've said things in my videos before, and every once in a while I get comments of and that's going to happen, and it's okay. But Jeff knows that I'm kidding, and if it really bothered him, right, I would stop. But he knows we're messing around, and I try to gauge people's humor, right? I try to gauge the person, say, is this somebody I can get away with saying something with? Because it's not coming from a bad, like intentions, a lot of it, right? It's not coming from a bad place. Like, it's fun when people do that with me. I enjoy it. But that's my personality. My dad was able to do kind of the same thing, except he wasn't as goofy as I am. But I remember he could say anything to anybody. Anything. Absolutely anything. Probably more than I can say. And he was serious. So, I mean, that takes talent right there. Nothing wrong with being a Mexican. I don't even remember where he's from anymore. It's Peru, yeah. Calling someone from Peru Mexican is so American. Well, that's kind of the joke, right? It's fun doing, like, if people don't know you, and if they're like, the thing is too, I think so many people are very uptight, and you can't be uptight. I mean, you can be, but it's, I try to loosen people up. I try to stay loose myself by acting absolutely retarded half the time, and it works. But I need that. I'm like I said this before. My life is too serious. Like, and I think everybody's life gets very serious, right? You have these issues, like everything's overwhelming. There's always these hardships. Like, everybody has to go through this stuff. So if you're always like this, and because I tell you, you have to laugh. You have to laugh, and it's good for you. And so that's what I try to do. I need that balance. So in other words, if y'all see me acting extremely retarded, I'm going through something probably outside. Unless I'm like extremely worn down, which I kind of feel right now. I'm very worn down. No other country map, let alone neighboring countries. Our education has gone way downhill. Yeah, it's not a good thing. It needs to come back. I enjoy being insulted. Yeah, I like being insulted too. I think it's fun. That's why our Thursday night class, we just rip each other apart. And when Sarah was modeling for us, Sarah, she was in one of my videos, the redhead chick. And she comes on here. I mean, she was up on the model stand naked, just tearing me apart specifically. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. It's an experience from life. I mean, there's a difference when friends burst balls and when a real evil person says, yeah, if somebody, like, if you're really going off on somebody, that's not, yeah, obviously, that's common sense, right? Come on, like, Europeans don't fuck up in calling someone the wrong ethnicity. I agree, Shikari. Shuddermia. You're absolutely right. Look, I've been over there, and not everybody there is that sharp. It's like North Korea, but exactly the opposite. No, we don't, Shuri. We are intellectuals who eat baguettes. Baguettes? Is that the word? I never learned to read good. And suck it, Call of Duty. Europeans. Ooh! Are you gonna take that, Shikari? Call of Duty. She just insulted your country, your zone, as not being good at Call of Duty. Look, America gets a bad rap about a lot of things, but there are a lot of very smart people here. very good and motivated people. There really are. Every place has its ups and downs. And people are people too. We're not so different. Hmm. Lived Call of Duty in the 1940s. You are correct. You are correct. You did. Americans helped you guys out too. Our dudes did in World War II. I'm extremely offended. I never played, but I know I would be a master at it. Prove it. She's trying to get people to play with. Because I haven't been good to her. I haven't played with her. I'm kidding. I can't even play Tetris. Start there. I'm still progressing. We can't play Tetris either. The female figure drawing. Think I'm getting slightly better. Your exercises that you're doing are brilliant in terms of your choice of exercises, and you're doing a good job with them. Listen, Lewis explaining it Lewis explaining it makes it not funny. Never break the fourth wall ever. I don't know what you're talking about. Europeans always act like we are better, but we are obsessed. Wait, with what? In South Africa, Essery, what's up? In South Africa, we have 12 official languages. Half the time, we can't even tell what language our fellow countrymen are speaking. That's really funny, actually. You see? Look, people are people. That's funny. I find that funny. It was a good entrance, by the way, Essery. Obsessed with America? Yeah. It is a girl saint. I think a blessed, but she has the potential to be a saint, or she has the potential to be a blessed. I'm not sure which. But yes, Charlene Richard. Louisiana, back in the early 1900s, I think she lived. She lived to be, I think, 12. How the hell is it 12? I thought the Dutch were the mains in South Africa. Shutter, you speak like a gamer. You really, I thought they were the mains. What do they mean? You nerd. You are a nerd. Oh my gosh, come in, nerd. I mean, dumb. You do. You do. Oh my gosh, you called me a nerd. Oh my gosh, I am a nerd. What do they mean? You asked what they mean. Never heard that before. Like, the context of all this stuff is how Europeans are, like, more intellectual than we are. And we quickly moved it towards Call of Duty and then start talking about mains. I think science says we all came from a pond in Africa. I don't know if science knows what it thinks or not. There's always new things popping up here and there. A lot of people can't sing most of the national anthem because there are about 5 languages in it. It's funny. That's good. I like that. Thanks for telling me this. Sorry for asking twice. I was busy and muted the stream and didn't see if you answered the first time. Um, which was, is that a girl saint? Um, it's it is. I don't think she's a saint yet. She hasn't been proclaimed a saint. She's either a blessed or she's going to be a blessed. Okay? So it goes blessed and then sainthood. But the church has to decide and through a rigorous process of discernment. So y'all have to forgive me for this because a lot of this painting I'm doing is kind of guesswork. It just is. If I was actually, if I had a subject in front of me, I would get it quicker. Like, but this is like a lot of guesswork, and the problem with that, it can become overpainted very quickly. So I have to be aware of that, right? So this is just one of the things. And what I'm doing right now, I'm just slowly, like very subtly lifting the eye up just a little bit, just this under part. Since I lifted this piece up, right? Lifting this eye up, because this was too thick. Moody the younger. Can't escape Moody. I love saying nerd alert because it's the most nerdy way of calling someone a nerd. You know, I'm gonna say this once, and I'm sorry. I would never step a foot in the land of the free. Well, why do you say that? Q said it was a puddle of goop we came from. OQ. Saint fancy, yeah, we're pretty fancy here. We're highly intellectual. I actually have a place with a cave that's called the cradle of humankind. Clearly, we sprouted from a hole in the ground and not a pond. It's kind of funny. Africa has a national anthem. Didn't know that. They might not know it either. I think St. Peter would let me sneak in through the pearly gates to heaven. Do you think so? If you're good, I don't know. I don't want to know where we come from. Shikari doesn't have any faith that it's any place good. She's just like, I've had it. I've had it. Aliens came in the goop. Boom you. Boom you. What are you talking about? Boom you. Too much crime and taxes. I personally can't come from my mother's womb. That's what they want you to believe. Too much information. We're all tadpole people. Crime and taxes is Texas and Massachusetts. Crime in Texas is Texas and Massachusetts. Just don't go there for California or like Washington. Just don't go there or California or like Washington. Is Texas bad in taxes? I wouldn't think Texas would be. Maybe it is. Yeah, it depends on what state you live in. I think New York is bad. Don't go to New York. Right? Or am I wrong? I think I'm right about that. I've never been to the big city, to the Big Apple. Never been. Every time I go to a place, it's like Chevy Chase walking in and doing some stupid shit. I swear, every single time something happens to me. Happened when I went to Germany. Got lost there. Totally lost. Got to my destination and slept. I was so exhausted. Hadn't slept in like 24 hours or something. It was an exhausting trip. Almost got arrested at the airport. Would have been arrested if it was today, let me tell you that. Have some pictures. I should show you the pictures I took with Toby. It's at the airport. You know what? I'm probably working up more than it was, but you can't get away with that shit now. We're pranking people. Acting highly suspicious. Highly suspicious. Doing push-ups in the middle of like the entire place. We're just like down where people were walking doing push-ups. I mean, stupid shit. We're bored. That's what happens. I can't afford to travel anyway. Do you follow in painting badly on? Oh, I'm painting badly on Twitch, and do you think his art is good? I'll bring him up. Chevy Chase was there. Chevy Chase, did y'all ever see like the European Vacation or National Lampoons or that type of stuff? Every time I go, it's something like that. How about no crime and no taxes and no interest? I would love that. I think everybody would love that. But I don't know what place that would be. Who does push-ups for fun? What's wrong with you? We were very bored. I thought it was funny. Twitch. Set on Vinruki because he's the only person. I got my other channel up. I do have a channel, but I'm not going to stream on it. Okay, I'm painting badly. Oh, I'm. Did I misspell this? Ah, there it is. 2K. Do I think his work is bad? I like some of his work. He did a skull a couple days ago. Let me check. Tell him not to do nudes, by the way. He'll get kicked off. Bruh. He did Lizelle. Oh no, that's not. I see what he. I see what he did. That's pretty funny. I like his work. He's pretty decent. Yeah. He's cool. So while people in America just run into celebs, I don't. For whatever, another but for sure. That's hilarious. Wait. The airport on a work trip, I just ran into that food restaurant personally with a spiky blonde laughing at me saying, it's wild. People in America just run into celebs. Is Gordon Ramsay hair spiky right now? Sometimes it's soft and wavy. Sure, continue. It was Guy Fieri. He's strange. The nude thing is weird because you got all those body painters on Twitch. Oh, really? I didn't even know about the body painters. So, I was on Twitch. Maybe were you with me on Twitch? Or did you find me here? But I got permanently kicked off for doing a figure drawing. It was like not even detailed. It was like seriously, it was like something like this. It was like this is the level of detail it was right here. Right here. Like if I showed this, I would have gotten kicked off. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody in chat will back me up on that. I mean, yeah. That's the last and I was so they but the thing is I had been flagged before and they said like you got an indefinite suspension, but I always appealed. And then I appealed the last time and they said no, they upheld it and that was the end of the channel. So I just came back here. So Crockett, there's your boss. Boss is here. Lewis could be a body painter. I'd be an awesome body painter. Okay. In fact, we had a body painter who worked down below me in the studio below. It's kind of strange, to be honest with you. But we did. It was very strange. On Twitch, yeah, well, my channel's gone now. I think in a couple months I could probably reappeal, but I have to say that I'm very angry at them. I don't want to support Twitch. I mean, in terms of like streaming on it at this point. You know, I don't like how that went down. Because I spent a lot of time building that channel up when I could have been doing it here. And then they get me off that bullshit when they're okay with, you know, these hot tub streams and the body painters and all this stuff. I mean, crazy. And that stream I was actually talking about art. I know half the time we talk about stupid shit here, but we were talking about, like, I was going through the process of academic drawing and they kicked me off and then they upheld it. And I just said, dude, either somebody like has it in for me there, they're incompetent, or, and this kind of goes with incompetence, or they were just like clicking through really fast and just they wanted to get out and just upheld the ban. You know, they didn't look. Like, I don't think they reviewed it. They could not have reviewed and upheld that ban. They could not have done it. So, but they did. They upheld the ban, and I can't stream anymore there. Okay. I'm just trying to establish the value range around this area. Yeah, you're right, Shutter Mia. Lan. Because we know you as Lati. I'm not calling you Lan. Maybe if you had done it back then, it wouldn't have been the right time anyway. That's a good... You know what? You are correct. Yeah. It's a very mature way of looking at it. Very reasonable, actually. I've seen streamers stream a nude playthrough of BG3. I know him. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. The Twitch ban keeps you up at night. It does. I haven't slept since I got banned. Jeff Bezos doesn't like boobies. Did he say that? Do you add any reddish paint for the eyes at the corners? I do, but if you do too much, it makes them look like they're high. What did I mix here? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm just trying to establish like the correct drawing first before I really get into, you know, like that type of detail, like developing the eye itself quite a bit. Like I'm trying to develop it some right now, but I'm also trying to I'm still moving some parts. She's back to lurking again. Who's lurking? Uh, I mean, she's the area manager. She gives herself as many breaks as she wants. Lottie, oh, Lottie. So there's three of us. We're well on our way to being a coven. So why do you have a spot of paint next to the face? This is for keying up the values. So I know, for example, if I didn't have this here, I wouldn't know exactly where the value range falls within as clearly. I'd be able to figure it out. But when I say, okay, the whitest white, you can go this light, then I know how dark that is. Same thing with the dark here. That's what I was taught. See? There you go. Now you can really see our value range. So as light as you can go, as dark as you can go, and so these are the values in between. So you establish your value range. That's how we do it. Do it. Coquette, what do you think? Is it going to be a fun night tonight? Or is it going to suck? What do you think? What do you think, Coquette? What do you think? What do you think? I'm Googling what's a coven. I don't be a witch. I don't be a witch. It's not going to suck? You don't think so? But it always sucks. It doesn't always suck. I have a good time. The problem that I have is that by the end of the day, I don't have any more patience left. And if people act stupid, then I'm unfair to them. So I take. Ah, that was a sneeze. Almost went right into the mic, but I got it. Got it. too light, but I just want to, okay. All right, something we can work with. The basics in. You're a pirate, Shikuri? Coven sounds like a sexual club. We're inclusive here. We also take pirates, sorcerers, I guess, warlocks, etc., etc. Most dramatic sneeze. It was pretty dramatic. That's why I had to. Thank you, Shikuri. I'm Shurimiya. I don't know why I was saying Shikuri was Shurimiya now. I see the CH and automatically Shikuri. This eye is too big. Maybe. Actually, it might be all right. No, I see what's wrong with it. I see. I see what's wrong. This under part right here, this is it. This needs to darken up some and bring this piece down just a little bit like that. Soften that edge once I'm done. There. We're here as mods for Lewis University finds out about this. We're gonna go to jail. Yeah. Keep trying, it's good. It's entertaining what you write. It really is. But again, you type better in my language than I do in yours. So I can't bash you. Well, I can't bash you. I bash everybody, but you know. This comes in. There you go. Boom. That's how we do it. Soften. Let's bring the shadow up into it a little bit, shall we? Yes. Shadow. Soften. It's a little bit too dark. This in. Soft. Working on a technical machine CAD drawing for work. Mind-numbing stuff. You're an author. She's not an author. She is into finance, I believe. It's good. Finance. Let's see what needs to change. Let's bring. Actually, let's take this. So this color right here, get some ultramarine blue. More ultramarine blue. There we go. That's a good shadow for the eye right there. That should be at least. Yep. Yeah, shape that, bring it in just a little bit. Minor. Let's add more blue, darken it a little bit. There we go. Probably that. And then same brush. Go to the lighter side. I'll swing the values more on the smaller brushes. They're easier to control. Like the larger brushes get very muddy quickly because they just store so much paint, so it mixes too much with itself, and that's why you get all the browns and grays and stuff. Yeah. Off. Let's go back into a lighter dark. Bring some up here. And then asked about the little part in the eye that's more red. Let's get that. I'll put it in, and if I need to move it, I can. I'm still painting relatively simple. Let's come over here and just, this needs to come up some. It comes down. I'm just going to darken at the top. Okay. This might be too much. Might be too much. See, it looks, doesn't look right. Still need to work it in. So I got to make this stuff up. This is tricky stuff. We work here as Maz for Lewis University franchise. If the municipality finds out where we witchcraft in the back of the real estate, we are all going to jail, including Lewis. I'll get out. I'll talk my way out very easily. Witchcraft is allowed these, but if I don't, I will quickly rise to the top in the hierarchy of other criminals wrongfully accused like myself. I'm not an author. What made you think so? You're so articulate. So cool. How much does Lewis pay? Nothing. They do it out of loyalty, undying loyalty. Not sure. I thought I heard something here. What green is that? Oh, the green is yellow ochre and ultramarine blue combined into that juicy sweet green that you see before your eyes. I might as well be an author. Listen another. I will listen another. I will never break the fourth wall. Yes, I get paid. Oh, St. Peter. Can't say how much though. Oh, St. Peter. This isn't St. Peter. I don't know why you keep on saying, oh, St. Peter. They do it out of fear. Shikari knows me all too well. I really do believe that some of the people in my drawing class are afraid of me. Terry should be I can see why Terry would think that, especially after last week's class. He really messed up. That's on him, and I told him. He had that coming. He was talking all in the beginning, and I told him, I said, your work better be damn good for you to be talking the way that you're talking right now. And I'm sure in his mind, he said, well, I'll just tie it up once the time comes. The critique, which is normally an hour and a half in, which obviously, honestly, I should probably start doing critiques sooner um, so that he gets something done. It was like 10 minutes before the critique, he didn't even have half the figure in. Only 3 likes. I think we can do better. People, what? Oh, what, this? Who cares? But thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. And what I can do, I don't know if this is smart, but I might lightly paint some of the eyes in. Some of the eyes, the eyes in just a little bit. Because it's not going to take me long to do, but it might make it turn a little bit more. And if I need to move them, I can. This isn't bad. I'm not sure y'all will be able to see this though. Who's paying you then? Who is paying you then? I think only you can answer that question. It's not me. So I randomly saw a YouTube episode about a painter person who said she broke down at the Florence Academy, but she really had a bad time at school in England. Who was it? I feel bad for her. What happened? I mean, you had people lose it. Bear, what's up? Yeah. Still on what? This? It's going to be a while, man. I take my time. I take my time with it, you know. Gotta take your time. This is what I wanted. That's why it doesn't look good when I do that. I need okay. This is the brush that I want. This comes in. Comes up, and then yeah, this work takes a while, man. It takes a while. To look her up again. So what happened? What did she say? She just like she continued, right? Did she continue? I always hope people continue. Thank you, Bear. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. this value down just a little bit. Bring it back up if I need to, but I'm just trying to get the drawing in the eye right. Moving the paint. Art is hard. Art is hard. It's mucho hard. You want perfection, but that's impossible. Yeah. All right, let's fix the form underneath. Let's try to shift the brushes a little bit. No. Okay, that's there. Okay, this is the one that I can use. Oh. She said she just collapsed before her big review, kind of laid down on the floor and couldn't move, but she said everything she did was always wrong or something. Sounds like a nervous breakdown. Yeah, it hit her because everything you do is wrong, and so you have to learn to deal with it. It's hard. It's very hard. What it is that it's holding you to a very high standard. To get better, you have to face your mistakes and correct them, which is a hard thing to do. So if you're constantly upheld to that, it's very rigorous. There's a lot of fruit that you gain if you stick with it. And here's the hard thing. Sometimes for people like myself, I know I talk a lot of trash, but I was one of the people who was the worst in the building for a very long period of time, while I saw my friends get much better than me. But then I eventually caught up and surpassed everybody, including Romero Sanchez, Daniel Graves, and literally every single artist that went to that school ever. So, yeah. Point being, it's very difficult. And I understand, but you have to have mental fortitude, and if you don't have it, you have to learn to develop it. And hopefully they had good people there to encourage her in that manner, you know? That's why I wonder today, it's like, you know, with all this stuff, with like, you know, I think it's kind of on its way out, but all this safe space bullshit and like people not wanting, you know, like the work ethic's not the same as it used to be like 20, 30 years ago. Even, I mean, I guess a lot of people say that. I wonder how mentally tough people are. And because like, if hopefully she bounced back. I was like, okay, that was rough. Cause like I've been there. I've never collapsed like that, but I've felt the pressure and been extremely discouraged. I'm just like, shit, maybe I should quit. Like I've told you all this before, but eventually you get over it. And you have to have that fortitude, and you have to develop the fortitude. Everybody has certain strengths and weaknesses, and so you have to root out your weaknesses. You have to work on them. And I wonder how, like all this stuff where the teachers don't want to push the students and they want to make them, you know, they don't want them to feel bad and they're always being coddled. Those people aren't going to be able to make it through a school like that. They're gonna point fingers and to the people who are trying to help them, saying they're the problem. It's the school's problem. It's this. They didn't do a good job. You know, that's normally what people like that do. And it's a waste. It's really a waste. It's the only people it hurts is themselves and anybody who listens to them and like goes by what they say. It's a negative thing. It's not a good thing. But I'm sure that hopefully she got through it, and I'm sure either way she had potential if she stuck with it. I think it's hard because you put everything you have into it, but it's never enough. But that's also what makes it fun. It's a good point, Shakuri. I think she paints now, but she said she has PTSD or something. Well, fuck that, man. I mean, it's not like she went to war. It's art school. I know, the Navy SEALs. I mean, that's my point. And granted, only men can do it. I mean, it's just they're built different like that. But, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, if she had been through an actual war, that would be a cakewalk. But if you're being coddled, and I'm not saying she was, I don't know her, but it makes you wonder, if you're getting coddled your whole life, you're not going to be able to deal with anything. I could tell you stories, but I'm not going to right now. Oh, it is war. It is. It's the interior war of I suck. Deal with it constantly. That's the thing. This is painting. This is like, I'm doing this all day, right? Downplaying it, but I mean, it's hard. It's hard. That's why, I hope to think that y'all, if you're having problems, you can talk to me about it. And I know it sounds like I'm belittling this. I'm not belittling it. Like, being stressed out about art is a normal thing, but you have to get past it. And that's why I said I hope she had good teachers there to kind of encourage her and be like, look, you got this. This is just a part of the process. Don't look at it this way. Look, stand up. You got this. What are you nervous about? You're looking at this. Oh, this is wrong. But let's look at what you've done to improve. I did this with Brian, in fact, because Brian was down on himself. I said, you take some of the drawings you did 2 years ago, compared to what you did now. 2 years ago, he was doing drawings. It looked like 12-foot tall space alien, amorphous, possibly female in gender. And it looked like they were burn victims, all of them, to drawings that are decent drawings, like this is a human. And the proportions, sometimes he almost nailed them. Sometimes he got the technique right and shadowing, which is why I'm so hard on him when he pulls shit. Because I've seen him do it. He's come a long way. As has Terry and everybody else. So, Khan said, every social gathering is warfare conceived. At least it's fun, unlike a lot of other jobs. Damn right. We're lucky to be doing this stuff. Bear, I currently struggle painting 007 No Time to Die scene before Bond blows up. Regret I ever started this subject. Day 5. Think I'm going to scrape it all off and start all over. Did you post it in our Discord? Before you do that, we need to determine if it's a piece that is a good lesson to salvage. You might be able to get a good lesson out of it. You might be able to salvage it. So don't script it down yet. I want to see it first. Anyway, it's better to start all over if I don't like it, or try to correct the latter. Try to correct. You're going to get more experience that way. Now, Romero Sanchez would oftentimes have us start over if it was so far off. And he was right. So oftentimes he would have people start over, and then they'd be like, all right, okay, but first I'm going to go drink. And then tomorrow I'll start. Wednesday night, burger night. I remember it was, we did 6-7 pints, 3 burgers, a couple shots at the end of the night, midweek. I was in better shape then than I am now, too. I don't know how I did that. Okay. I mean, it's tough. It can be hard. But you get stuff that, look, not many people know how to paint, so you got to look at what you're getting. I thought you meant Sufanesifone. I don't even know who that is. Let me see if I can do it. God. It's a good movie. Star Trek. Next Generation, I think. Right? The Wrath of Khan. I would stick with it probably, yeah. Guys, I need to go check on my papa. Me papa. He wasn't feeling good today. He woke up. He was sleeping on his, almost on his face. He's kind of like down. He was like on his face like that. And his hands are swollen. His feet were swollen. And, his face is all swollen and he's just very lethargic. I think it might have to do with the time change. Um, from King of the Hill. You love King of the Hill, don't you, Shikari? Anyway, but I wanted to get some streaming for y'all done today. I'll stream again this week. I just feel like this doesn't have. It's missing something. It's not well painted, number one, right now, but it just seems like it's missing something. It's missing a lot of form that I don't have, and I'm worried, and I am a little rather concerned. I feel like the photograph's a decent photograph, but it's just like the lighting is very washed out, and it's washing the form, that is the structure of the face, which I'm trying to get. I'm tired of making stuff up. You know what I should do is a portrait of my dad, have him come in here, and we do a painting of the old goat. It would be a challenge because he'd constantly be moving and he'd be asleep most of the time. But I do need to get a painting of him at some point. I really want to do that. Yeah, Dad. Yeah, Dad's doing okay. Thanks, him. He's just like he's today like he's normally like recently overall he's been very good. He's been walking and such, but today he was a little bit off balance. He's very weak, seemingly very confused, but I think it has to do with the time change. Apparently that affects the elderly quite a bit. With me, I don't really notice it yet, I guess. The time shifts or whatever. I don't feel it. I never really feel it. But I think with my dad, I think people with dementia especially, they feel it quite a bit. So I guess the thing to do is to just get them acclimated as quickly as possible, wake them up, put them to bed at the same time as I normally would. Instead of saying, oh yeah, we'll keep you up an hour later to or sooner. Maybe keep them up an hour later for what it's at right now. So swelling could be heart related. That's what we think. So like Shikari, when we got him, I was streaming at this time, but before I brought him out, we brought him out because he almost died when we had him in assisted living. We put him into a place. I didn't do it. My family wanted to do it. I've talked about this before. I won't get into it right now, but within the first 2 weeks, his feet, like his legs, starting up around his knees and down here, were just balloons. Within the first 2 weeks of having him in there, I was like, how can y'all keep him in this place, knowing this is how they're treating him? And it went on like this for 5 months. But I would bring him back, massage him down, walk him, get him moving and stuff. And so that was about three years ago. So we've been through this before. We've had swelling before, and normally we're able to get it back down. And I do that by exercising him and massaging his. Like yesterday, I was working on his hands quite a bit because they're kind of like balloons right now. I've never seen his hands really like that. That's a problem. But I think it's because he was hanging over the side of the bed a little bit. But for share, thank you. I appreciate that. You're a hypochondriac. My best friend was before he died. Stupid time changes. I get lag. Yeah, Shikari. Yeah, it wasn't good, Shikari. But we take care of him, do the best you can, and he's much better. Like he's fine. But I need to go. I left him on the couch to rest. He fell asleep. I think he's just out of it today. I'm gonna try to go and walk him and maybe come back in here in a little bit, and I don't think I'll stream. I think I'll work on this face some, try to focus a little bit. I've been trying to stream and then work on this outside as well, so that I kind of, because I can obviously, like when you paint like without distractions, I paint, it's easier to paint, but at the same time I love streaming. I love talking with y'all, and it helps me out tremendously. So there's give and take for each. But guys, anyway, I got to run, and I will see y'all again this week. Y'all are awesome. All right. Is Brian the one who keeps drinking beers? No, that's Terry. Terry keeps doing it. And I don't know how. I don't know how he does it because, guys, I can drink. But if I just have one beer, it puts me in a mindset of I'm relaxing. And I swear, it's like I can go up there and I'm drawing, but it's like inside I'm not trying at all. I'm just like, whatever. And I'm making all these mistakes that I normally wouldn't make. And he goes, and he's just like, I've only had 1.5. I don't know. He does the half. If you're going to have a pint, or two, have two. It's half business, but he does have 1.5. So, anyway, I'll see you guys.